Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you have not joined me before, my name is Melissa and thank you for joining me today. We are here today to review a product that I received in my November Ipsy bag, and that is the Mad Lash Black Mascara from the Balm. I'm going to take a pause here in my product review video to say that I do a number of product reviews. I review everything that I get in my BoxyCharm and Ipsy subscription services, but I'm also doing something new, which is a BB cream showdown. I'm putting BB creams up against each other in first impressions and longer wear tests and narrowing down what is the best drugstore BB cream, and then I'll move on to higher end ones. If you are interested in that, I'll put a link to the playlist down below and also include one at the end of this video. But for now, let us talk about this Balm mascara. I feel like I have heard people talk about this, like some people really love it, and I have not tried it before. It is a very tiny little sample with 0.08 fluid ounces. So I'm not going to go into a huge amount about the Balm, the company. I have done a product review on them before. From last month's Ipsy bag, I received one of their blushes. And so I talked quite a bit about the company, and I will put a link to that video down below so you can go back and watch it if you would like. So what I'm going to do today is talk to you a little bit about this product in particular. I am going to show you what it was like to apply, and then we are going to see how it lasts through the day. I will say I ended up really enjoying the Balm Hot Mama blush that I got in my last subscription bag. I don't know if you had watched that review, but I was at first a little concerned about how tiny the sample was. But there is something about that color that I just keep going back to. It is now my go-to blush, using it with a fluffy crown brush, and I really am enjoying it. So let's hope that I enjoy the mascara as much as I enjoy the blush. So the Balm appears to have 4 different mascaras, and they all seem to come, from what I can tell, in just basic black. The difference is in what they say the formulas do and very much in the brush. So this one here is a curved, basically plastic bristle brush. So they call it like injection molded, which means it's got those little spiky black brushes instead of bristles. And they talk about it giving you volume and definition. Another one that they have here is called Cheater, and that one has the more typical, what I'm used to, the bristles that are more of a spiral down the brush, and that one talks about it being more of a conditioning and anti-clumping formula, and that you can reapply it throughout the day. I feel like that is more maybe my interest, because I really don't like clumping mascaras. That is my #1 thing to avoid. They also have one called the Bodybuilder that talks about building up a lot of volume, and it is one of those bristle brushes that is bristles all over the place. Like, it looks very, it doesn't narrow at the end, it's just lots of bristles of different heights. And I have one mascara that's like that, and they talk about how it gets your lashes at different lengths. I believe the It Cosmetics one is also like that, and I do enjoy that one. I will also put a link to that review down below. And finally, there is a Tall, Dark, and Handsome, and that is another injection molded plastic spiky brush, but that one is more just a regular looking wand that narrows a bit at the tip. This wand is both curved but also interesting in that, and I'll show you this again later, the bristles are set up almost like in a triangle pattern, like there's a row of bristles at the top, one on the side and one on this side. So those are the different mascaras that they have. It doesn't make a huge amount of claims in here. It doesn't say anything about it being waterproof. It just says that it's lengthens in volume, and talks a lot about how the curved wand does that. It retails for $18 in full size, and it's a 0.27 ounce. So this would be, if I do my math very quickly, about 1/3 of the amount that you would get in the actual full-size product. So that is everything I have to say for now. Let us go into seeing how this applied. So let's get to testing this mascara. The Mad Lash Black Mascara. It's interesting that it says it's good for 6 months once open, because usually you think of using only these for about 3. There we go, that's what it looks like, and you pull it out. And this is the wand. It is one of those plasticky, spiky wands, and This is going to be hard to see, but it's actually kind of triangular shaped. It's not going to focus on it, but it's got a curve to it that way, and it's got a triangular shape to it, and it looks a little bit like the mascara is a bit gloopy on there. So I'm going to curl my eyelashes and then try putting this on. Eyelashes curled. A weird thing about this is sometimes when I take out mascara wands and there's a little bit too much on the tip, I'll wipe it off on the lid of the bottle. But because this is all concaved inside, because this kind of clicks into it, you can't really wipe it off. Oh, and I've just noticed it's not really gloopy on the end. There's like a little spiky tip on it, I think, to get the lower lashes and the lashes at the ends. So with one coat on, it's a little more clumpy than I would like it to be. So that's the one coat there versus without. You can see they're kind of bunching together a little bit. It didn't give me any great length. And I also find because there's the bristles on only 3 sides of the brush to kind of make it look like a triangle, you're kind of trying to find the spot that actually has the bristles on it to comb through.
Hey everyone, here's how I like to work with Mad Lash Black Mascara from the Balm Cosmetics. Starting at the base, wiggle your wand through your lashes.
So that first coat has dried. I'm going to go in for a second coat, and on the other side I'm going to do the coats right after each other so that it doesn't dry in between. They don't make a lot of claims about this other than it being black. They don't say it's waterproof, so I assume it's not, which means we're really going to put it to the test today because my eyes seem to be kind of watery today. So second coat. I don't know. Not usually how I love my mascara. It's a little on the clumpy side for me, but let me try the other side and doing the layers a little quicker. I would say this is not an eyeliner or a mascara for beginners because, like, look at the clumps there on the brush. Like, it's a little hard to work with. It also dries very quickly, which isn't a bad thing necessarily, but it does mean you need to work quickly to get more layers on there to do it before the first layer gets kind of crunchy feeling. So let's see the other eye. Okay, it's not my favorite first impression. I found I was wiping off the end of the brush. For me, I find I don't like to have the gloopy extra bit of mascara on the very tip of the wand. I tend to wipe that off anyway because I find it ends up putting clumps into my lashes, and I find that little spiky bit at the end of the wand almost seems to scoop up more of that. And I find that gives me an inconsistent application. The bristles, because they weren't consistent all the way around, it just made it so you were always trying to find the right angle to work with it at. But that being said, it's not all over my lid. It did give me a bit of control that way. It dried quickly, so I'm not too worried about it like moving around right away onto my eyelids. And we will see how this performs throughout the day. So I will check back with you in a little bit. Hi guys, it has been about 4 hours since I put this mascara on, maybe a little bit more than 4 hours, and it is looking fine. I don't really see any difference from when I first put it on. There doesn't seem to be any flaking, there is no smudging. This eye has been watering a little bit, so just in the last hour or so I've been touching sort of a tissue to it, and I've seen a little tiny bit of black coming off on the tissue, but when I go and look I can't see anything. I'll zoom in a little bit. Everything seems to be just as black and staying in place as it was when I first put it on. As I said, no flaking, no smudging. It's not irritating my eyes in any way. The watering eye is due to something else. It was watering before I put the mascara on. And I will check in again at the end of the day. See you soon. Hi guys, it is now the end of the day, and I'm here to give you my final thoughts on the Mad Lash Black Mascara from the Balm. And my final thoughts are that the mascara hung in well through the day. It didn't seem to flake, it didn't seem to smudge, and to be fair, I was having some teary eyes today. Not teary, that makes it sound like I was crying. I was not crying. It's kind of allergy season for me, and my eyes were watering quite a bit, so I was going in and kind of like dabbing off moisture that was forming around my eyes, which can be a bit hard on a mascara. So the fact that it did not smudge or run or anything like that is a real plus. It doesn't say anything about this being waterproof, so I'm going to assume that it is not, because they would tell you if it was, but it's kind of nice that it is not just a mess all over the place at the slightest bit of moisture. By the way, random side note, this is made in Italy. Which you don't see a lot of products made in Italy. It's usually like the US or China. So made in Italy, there you go. I kind of feel a little meh about the formula. That's not the right way of saying it. I feel a little indifferent about the formula. I like that it didn't run or smudge or flake. I don't feel like it did a huge amount of lengthening or the kind of volume that I like if I'm going to use a lengthening and voluming mascara. And I really wish it had a different brush. I do not like the wand that comes in here. I find that the little spiky bit at the end just collects glumps of mascara when you pull it out. And let me see if I can just undo that now. Like, look at all the mascara that is on the tip of that. And all of that is going to try to like clump onto your eyelashes. And because of the way the bristles are set up in that triangle pattern, I really wish I could show you. It's just not going to want to focus. Okay, click back in. There we go. I really was trying to find the sweet spot of where there were actual bristles to get the product onto my lashes. So the formula I don't really think is anything special. I think it's good that it didn't, you know, run or smudge. It's very black, but it doesn't really do lengthening or anything like that. So maybe if you were going to be wearing like false eyelashes and you didn't worry about getting length or volume and just want something black that's going to stay in place through the day and not irritate your eyes, because it didn't irritate my eyes at all, then this would be fine with a different brush. Like, I would really prefer a different brush, and maybe I will try a different brush with this. But it doesn't stand out to me. It doesn't make me as excited as the blush did that I got from the Balm that I seem to be reaching for all the time. I just think that I am much more likely to either reach for my Clump Crusher mascara. That is a waterproof mascara that is kind of my go-to if I just want black eyelashes and I don't want anything to run or smudge all day. Maybe I'm going to an important meeting like that for work and I just want something that is like trusty, then I use my Clump Crusher. If I am going out or I'm going to an event or something like that and I really want like some neat volume, I've been going to my It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, and I will put the link for that review that I did down below, because that one really actually made a difference to the length and volume of my lashes. This is sort of somewhere in between, and I just can't see myself reaching for it over those other two, but I will keep it in my makeup vanity at the front and center and try using it a few more times in the next few weeks to see if my opinion changes or not. But for now, that is what I think. Hi guys, this is Editing Melissa. It's about a week after I filmed this that I'm doing the final edit because I'm traveling for work. And I did find I had a couple times with this mascara that I was able to get some neat lengthening where I had very sort of fluttery long lashes, but it's incredibly inconsistent. It was hard for me to figure out how to get the length and not the clumping that I had issues with. So I still stand by my point that it is not my favorite formula, but it does have some nice lengthening ability. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked this review, please consider giving me a thumbs up. It really helps me know that somebody is watching. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, but you would like to do so, you should be able to click right about here where my face should be coming up. And if you want to watch one of my other review videos, there should be one coming up just about here. So thank you so much, guys, and I will see you again soon. Bye.